In the last session, we have seen how to create the formulas. Now we will see how to use your parent record data in creation of formula. We'll see how to refer to the data from the parent object in creation of the formula. How to refer to the parent record data in creation of formula. We'll understand how to create the data, how to create the data, how to refer to the data from the parent object in creation of formula. Now let us look at these examples now. When you say two objects are connected, cross object formula. What do you mean by a cross object formula? How we are going to use the data? Now, what was that? When you say two objects are connected, I have object 1, I have two objects here. When you say these two objects are connected, when you say these two objects are connected, I will say two objects are said to be connected we will say these two objects are said to be connected only if there is a lookup relation or a master detail relation. Am I right? Am I right? Two objects are said to be connected only if there is a lookup or a master detail relation. Two objects are said to be connected only if there is a lookup relation or a master detail relation. If there is no lookup or a master detail, I cannot connect these two objects. Am I right? Am I right? Right, boss? Now, when two objects are connected by lookup relation or a master detail relation, if the child want to refer to the data from the parent, we call it as cross object formula. If the child want to refer to the data from a parent, we call it as a cross object formula. I repeat, if two objects are said to be connected by master detail relation or a lookup relation, if two objects are said to be connected by a master detail relation or a lookup relation, then child can refer to the data from a parent. Child can refer to the data from parent by using a cross object formula. Why only child can refer to parent? Because when there is a lookup field, there will be only one parent. Using one lookup, I can refer to only one parent. Using one master detail, I can refer to only one parent. So one lookup field will refer to one parent, one master detail will refer to one parent. But when the parent want to refer to child, parent may have number of childs. Which child are you referring to? I cannot guarantee that. That is the reason the cross object child to parent is accepted, parent to child is not accepted. In the cross object, child to parent is accepted, parent to child is not accepted. Are you getting my point? When two objects are connected by master detail relation or a lookup relation, in creation of formulas, child record can refer to its parent in creation of formulas, which is also called cross object formula. So look at this example. If there are two objects are connected, the question is who created? Let us say this is the name of the lookup field. It is the name of the lookup field. If this is the name of the lookup field, who created this lookup field? Salesforce or user? The lookup field can be a standard field. Lookup field can be a custom field. Now question is who created this? Is it the Salesforce who created or is it the user who created? Now in that case, look at the point. If R field is a standard, if R field is a standard field, if R field is a standard field, if R field is a standard field, R field is a standard field. That means Salesforce created this. If the Salesforce created R field dot R field dot parent field 1, R field dot parent field 2, R field dot parent field 3. This is what we agree. If R field is a R field is a custom field, not a customer. If R field is a custom field, underscore underscore R dot now what was that? If the lookup field is a standard field, the standard field dot parent field 1, standard field dot parent field 2, standard field dot parent field 3. If lookup field is a custom field, that is a R field underscore underscore R dot parent field 1, R field underscore underscore R dot parent field 2, parent field 3. This is how we are referring. So here depends upon the field is a standard or a custom, we are supposed to refer to the corresponding parent. Are you clear about this? What do you mean by standard? If the relation between two objects is created by Salesforce, then it is a standard lookup field. If the relation between two objects is created by the user, it is a custom lookup field. Now, let us look at this example. Look at this example. I hope this theme is clear. Right? Okay. Now, I have a account, I have a contact. Or else let us take course and student. Both of them are connected by master and detail, right? So who created this? Salesforce created or user created? User created. On every student, the moment he choose the course, on the student record, I have to get who is the faculty, what is the fees, when the date is going to start. Now, the moment I choose a course, if I choose a course called Pega, automatically what should I get? What is the fees, when the course will start, who is the faculty. The data should be displayed on every chain. Now the data is in parent. Every time I don't want to go to parent and see, automatically the data should be generated on the child. Based on the course what I selected, automatically the corresponding details about the course has to be auto-populated on the child. Then how will I achieve it? Go to the child. Who is that child? Student. What object is this? Student. Who created the relation between course and student? It is a custom relationship. We created the field. Look at this. Course underscore underscore C. New. Formula. Next. Faculty name. Text. Depends upon the course what you have selected, the faculty name should come. Insert the field. Student. Course. The course we have. Now look at the expression what we received. Course underscore underscore R dot faculty underscore underscore C. Underscore underscore R is a relation. Custom relation. In the course object, faculty value is there, display that. whichever the record you are choosing as a master, in that master record faculty value you display it. Right, this is how I created. Let me create one more field, formula. Next, start date, insert student, course, how was it, course underscore underscore r dot start. Okay, go to the student. Then what we got here, faculty name Durga, start date 11/15/2018. Which record is this? Student record. In the student record we are getting faculty name. Where was actually this faculty is given? In the course object called Java. I selected a course called Java. When I selected a course called Java, in the course I gave faculty name as Durga, start date is November 15th. Same data I received here now in the Ravi. Instead of going to the course again, in the Ravi record itself I am displaying, when the moment you select a course, they are telling faculty is Durga, start date is so. Are you getting my point here? Referring to the parent using their data. I can also write a logic on this. It's up to my choice. I hope you are good with this. This is called as cross object formula. Let us look at this. Now, in the contact, I want to say, whichever the account I am selecting, that contact ownership should be displayed here. How will you do that? Go to the contact. How will you create the formulas on contact object? Setup, build, customize, contacts. Now we are supposed to create custom fields. Formula. Next, customer ownership. What else? Customer type. Insert contacts, accounts, why did you say only account dot type? Relation between account and contact are created by Salesforce. The pick list field, so what should I do? The pick list field, so I'll not be getting that. Is pick file of account type. No. If the account type is a new customer will be printed. If it is existing customer, if it is not a new customer, I'll get a existing customer. I'm just writing small logic here. Go to contact, choose any one of the contact. They were getting type. Somewhere the type field will be there. Look at that. Customer type existing, right? More. So this is what cross object formulas. Cross object
Uh, why it's not applied formula
pick
means
list
without
field
logic,
has
it's not a
pick list fields cannot be referred directly. You cannot refer the pick list fields directly in the class object or in the regular application also. The normal formulas also you have to use it with the special functions called espickval or case.
okay.
So this is how we created the formula fields. Now we get into the next part of the story, that is validation. Even when you are writing the validation, same functions will be used. So I'll go to the validation, we'll try to cover the remaining functions what we have. Now let us discuss about validation. What do you mean by a validation? Why we use it? Validation rules will tell whether the format of the data, what I entered, is according to your business requirement or not. Validation rules will specify whether the validation rules will specify whether the data what we entered is it according to the business requirement or not. So validation rules are it will verify whether the data what we entered is it according to whether the data what we entered the data what we entered is it according to the business requirement or not. Whether the data what we entered is it according to the business requirement or not is verified by validation. There are two types of validation. One is system validation rules. Second one is a custom validation rule. You can say standard also. What are the standard validation rules? Whether required field is entered or not. Whether the required field is entered or not. Second one we are going to check. Second one we are going to check whether data type of the value is matching with the data what I entered. Now the field is phone, but I gave true or false. Field is currency, I entered testing. So the data what I entered is it according to the data type or not? Is it compatible with the data type or not? These are verified by the system itself. Validation rules are classified into two types. One is system, other one is custom validation. System validation means these are defined by the Salesforce to verify whether the required fields are entered or not, or whether required fields are entered or not. Second one, it is going to check whether the data type is compatible with your data or not. The data what we entered is it compatible with your data or not. These things are verified. These things are verified These things are verified by system validation rules. Now we are going to look at other format. What was that? Custom validation. What is that custom validation rule? According to your business requirement, you are designing your own validation. Let us say age cannot be less than 30. It is not the Salesforce requirement. According to your business requirement, age cannot be less than 30. Now, email field cannot be blank. It is not the Salesforce requirement. According to your business requirement, email field cannot be blank. So, you are trying to apply your own custom validations. Then I go for custom validation. If you want to apply your own validations, then we call them as custom validation. I hope you are good. So, validation rules are classified into two types, standard and custom. The rules which are defined by Salesforce are called standard. Rules which are designed by you are called custom. Now, look at the pick. Okay. So, what was that? We will define a rule in the validation. We will define a rule. If the rule is true, it will print error message. If rule is false, record will be saved. we are going to define a rule. Whatever the rule we gave, if it is a true, save the okay. If it is true, print the error message. If it is false, then save the record. If the rule is false, then save the. If the rule is false, then save the record. If rule is true, then print the error. So we are giving a condition when the error message should be printed. They are giving a condition to tell when the error message should be printed. We are giving a condition to tell when the error message should be printed. Okay. Now, when are these rules are going to be verified? When the system will check this rule. System will check this rule when a new record is created or existing record is modified. System will check the rule only when a new record is created or existing record is modified, which means validation rules are going to be verified when a new record is created or edited. On creation of new record or on modification of existing record, validation rules will be verified. Okay. Now let us look into the next point. First one, use case. We'll make it a basic example. Object. On which field I'm going to create email. Look at the point. Lead object. In the lead object, I told if lead source is web, email cannot be blank. Lead source is web, email cannot be blank. That's what I'm doing. Rule. When lead source is web and email is blank, this is what I'm doing. So in this case, how many conditions I'm verifying? How many conditions? There are two conditions. If there are two conditions and this is what I'm going. What was the condition? And first one is pickval of, because it is a picklist field, okay, is pickval of lead source. If the lead source is web, second rule is blank of email. Then print the error message. Now because it is a combination of two conditions, I have taken and condition 1, condition 2. If the lead source is web and email is blank, then throw error message. Let us look at this example. Setup, administer, okay, setup, come down, build, create objects. Then we have, are we working with a standard object or custom object? If the standard object, what is the navigation? Setup, build, customize, leads, validation, new validation. Rule name, condition, if lead source is web, blank of email, then Then go to the lead. This is what we are getting. Email value cannot be blank. Right. So we are going to define a condition. When you define a condition, the records which are meeting the condition, when the record meets the condition, then we are going to print the error message. Error message will be printed only when the condition is met. I hope you are good with this. Let us go to the next one. Then create the second one. Object. What is the field we are referring with? What are the fields I am going to use? Rating and phone number. Rule. When rating is hot, phone number. Now write the rule for this. Write the rule. Everyone start writing the rule for this.
ಇದೆ.
Create the second and third. Please mute your mic, Amma. How it was created. Is people of and phone number is blank. You can say hot and phone is blank. Is blank of through error message. When rating is short and phone number is blank, through error message. Third one, when industry is banking, rating is hot, ownership is public, and the phone is blank, then through error message. Is people of industry. Is people of ownership. Now, all these conditions and any one of the conditions is true and phone number is blank. When any one of these conditions is true and phone number is blank, throw error message. When any one of the above condition is true and phone number is blank, throw this error message. When annual revenue is modified, new value is less than the old value. When annual revenue is modified and new value is less than old value, throw error message. When annual revenue is modified and a new value is less than old value, throw error message. This is what I have given. Now, generally, validation rules are going to be verified when a new record is created or existing record is modified. But in this case, my rule has to run only when record is modified. My rule has to run only when the record is modified. So what I'm doing here, we have is changed. This will return true if the value of the this will run true if the value of the field is modified. Is changed of field name. This will run true if the value of the field is modified. This will run true if the value of the field is modified. Then prior value. This will return old version of the value which is modified. This will run old version of the field which is modified. So if I modify the amount from 10,000 to 20,000, let us say I have, it is modified to modified. When I say prior value of amount, we say amount, prior value of amount, 1 lakh, amount, this is prior value and amount. We got here prior value and amount, prior value and amount. So if you want to refer to the old version, we are going to get prior value. Modified value, if I say amount, we are going to get modified value, right? The same example I am going to give here. What is the rule? Each change of annual revenue. If the annual revenue is modified, and annual revenue is less than each change of annual revenue. If the value of annual revenue is changed, prior value of annual revenue is greater than annual revenue, then we are going to throw error message. If the value of annual revenue is modified and the old value of annual revenue is more than the new value, then throw error message. So what are the functions we have? Is changed and prior value. Is changed or prior value. Let us look at the next one. Now, the above example says only when the record is modified, go for the validation. But now I want to say check the validation rule only when a new record is created. Above example says whenever the annual revenue field is modified, then only check the rule. But now I want to give only when the new record is created, check the rule. Don't check the rule. Don't check the rule when the record is modified. Check the rule only when a new record is created. As I told you, validation rules are going to be fired. Validation rules are going to be fired whenever a new record is created or existing record is modified. Object. Rule. Whenever new loan is created and apply date is less than today, whenever new loan record is created and applied date is less than today, then throw error message. Now let us see this. Here we have is new. This will return true when validation rule is fired. Is new. This will run true if the validation is fired due to new record. Is new. This will run true when validation rule is fired due to new record. So, and is new. It is a new record and apply date is less than whenever a new record is created, apply date is less than today through error message. So basically, they specify a condition. They specify a condition. Then, if the condition is true, error message will be printed. Condition is false, record will be saved. And these conditions are going to be verified when a new record is created or existing record is modified. I hope you are good with this. Clear with this format? Right, boss? Clear with this format? Pardon me? We are already writing on the object only, no? Where are you writing the validation rules? How are you writing the validation rule? If I want to write a validation rule on an object, loan, validation rule is already written on the which object? How are you writing the validation? We are going to the object, we are finding custom fields and relationships. Then what we are writing? Validation. So these validation rules are for which object? So why to mention it again? Okay, which without knowing the object, how are you using the fields? How are you using the fields? The fields belongs to that object. We are defining the validation on the particular object. Go to the object, click on the validation, enter the data. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone?
Satish, is new is only for creating for a new record only, right? So when we use a new is
If you want to check the rule, only when a new record is created, we use isNew. Come again? Lot of functions are there. Okay. Practical usage will be very less. Now, as a predefined functionalities, they have given a lot of functionalities, but we generally just check out what we require. Okay. Right. If I cover all those, it will take 2-3 days. If you don't practically require those. Okay. Right. I hope you are good with this. What was the validations? Basically, you specify a rule, records which are meeting the rule, records which are meeting that rule, they will throw error message. Otherwise, the record will be saved. Right? We'll wind up for the day. We'll continue the tomorrow. The expression format, we'll check it out. Right? So that's all from my end for now. We'll continue in the next session.
Satish, if we want to find a new like is new type of different type of data types, so how should we find? Like how should we find out?
I didn't get you, Vijay. Could you please repeat?
You said there are a lot of functions, right? So how can we find which function is
Go to the
useful? Like,
you go to the validation, you have to find it.
Satish, can you once differentiate is changed and prior value functions?
Both will go hand in hand. Boss. Is changed. We'll check whether the field is changed or not. If the value of this written old value. Right.
Okay.
Satish, sorry to ask you this. Can you tell me peak value why we use to get the blank?
Pardon me?
I didn't get is peak value. Sorry, not is peak, is blank.
If the value is not entered, it will give true. Value is not entered, it will give true. Value is not entered, it will give true.
So only in validations we take is
Formula self
like
validation.
okay.
Now record is modified.
Yes.
Now please mute your mic, Amma. No, value is modified. If you look at this, here also record is modified, here also record is modified. But I want to check whether amount is modified or not. I want to check whether amount is modified or not. Here record is, hello, go and talk. Go and talk. Now, Wipro 10,099. Here also record is updated. Here also record is updated. I want to check whether value of amount is modified or not. That's why I told is changed. Because record is modified, amount value is modified. If I give here is changed of boss, hello. Now I gave is modified. If you look at this, amount is not modified, so it gives false.
False. Yes.
Okay. Now, in this case, if I give value is modified, there is a prior value of amount, going to get this. If we say amount, we are going to get current value. Amount will give you current value, prior value will give you old one before modifying the amount.
Below that, can we write a condition like prior value amount comma
No, you will not.
the name?
If the value is modified, you will have prior value.
So what we have to, the TCS changes, right? So prior what we have to write?
Avjay, if the value is not modified, how will you get the prior value? What is the record we have? This is the record. What is the value? 999. If the field is modified, then you get the prior value. There is no concept of prior value if the value of the field is not modified. Okay? Did you get my point?
Yes, I got it.
Right. So that's all from my end. See you all in the next session.